Okay, when you got a little dilemma that's happening in your relationship, just send us an email. We'll give you a solution here, or at least our thoughts on it. This one email for the KVJ court is somebody whose neighbor is trying to seduce their teenage son. It says, my 16-year-old son told me that he thinks the woman next door, who is single and likely in just her mid-30s, is deliberately trying to seduce him.
Oh, my gosh. If a 16-year-old is saying that, she definitely is.
And she's not hot. I don't know. Because if I were 16...
You just took all the fun out of this scenario.
I'm just saying, I mean, if I were 16, my hot 35-year-old neighbor is trying to seduce me and put on a show for me, I'm not telling my mom.
No.
I'm like,
she must be gross.
She said, I thought he was exaggerating until I saw it for myself. And every evening at the same time, she starts dancing in her living room in barely there lingerie with the blinds open directly facing his bedroom. It's not subtle, and it's a full-blown striptease.
Okay.
That's definitely done on purpose.
This is definitely done on purpose.
So I tried to be the good neighbor and not be so confrontational. So when I saw her, I said, hey, you know what? I think my son can see you in your house when you're not wearing a lot of clothes. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll have to be more careful. And then guess what? Happened again that night.
Whoa.
So I went to my husband. I said, well, we got to do something about this. I tried to be nice and cool, and she's clearly not listening to what I had to say.
Oh, but can you please video this and send it to the KVJ show?
I just want to know if she's gross or not.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like now jump to the top of the list of videos I want to see.
My husband's saying, well, we can't tell somebody what to do in their own home, but isn't this considered some form of indecent exposure or contributing to the delinquency of a minor? I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted suburban Netflix movie. I want to involve the authorities, but is that going too far?
That is a good question, because I walk around my house in my backyard naked a lot. Let's say someone was to see me back there.
You don't have a window, though. I think that's the difference. You have a fence.
No, I have windows. You could absolutely see if I was naked from some point of views. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, you could. You really could.
They have gotten some people for showing adult movies or being completely naked in their window, and it seems like it's not just a fleeting thing where something accidental happened. I think you can have some issues with that. Now, it doesn't sound like she is naked. It sounds like she's still wearing lingerie or some kind of clothes. Now, is that deemed to be indecent? And then what do you have to do? Maybe the police would just say, well, you know what? If you see that, you close your blinds. I don't know.
It's so funny because I can picture her striptease in my head and how she's dancing and what she's doing.
Oh, I can recreate it for you.
Let's see if it's even close to what I got. Although, don't do any physical comedy. You might get shocked like Kevin did earlier.
You're right. Everybody sit still.
Yeah. Yeah, if somebody knows what the law would do with that, to me, I don't know that you can take it outside of the house. You tried to say something. She might be trying to do that. Now, seduction is a big jump from just she's doing this to kind of probably get a rise out of it, and she needs some validation, and she likes seeing a 16-year-old so interested in her in her mid-30s. She's like, okay, still got it.
Still disgusting.
Yeah.
That is not a good feeling when somebody who thinks they still got it doesn't. And they try to hit on
And
you.
the 16-year-old's like, ew.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, you know what, you just got to mind your own business and
Maybe, I mean,
close the blinds.
Is that the only window in his bedroom? If it's not, I would recommend putting up hurricane shutters on that one window.
Right, yeah.
So you no longer have the opportunity to see out of it. But if you have a fire and that's the only window, then your son burns to death, and that's not a good thing.
And let's say they did call the police and they go to the neighbor and she goes, well, then tell that teenage boy to stop looking in my window. Why is he looking in my house?
Yeah.
That's what that's what.
Yeah.
That's what could happen.
I think it's time to secure your own window.
Yeah.
Do it safely, but do it so that, he can't see her anymore, so we can move past this. Now, is she saying anything to him in the yard ever, or is it just this nightly striptease?
It doesn't sound like there's any kind of connection to that level. Where if she were trying to lure him into her house or something along those lines, then you might have an issue. But her just putting on a little bit of a strip tease, still keeping her clothes on from her room, I don't think you got anything.
Well, thank goodness he thinks she's gross. So now.
Well, he didn't say that. I don't know. I'm deducting because otherwise you don't tell your mama.
Yeah, if he told his mom, he's not into it. So maybe that will help us that he won't be lured.
We want to shut down adults being creepy towards kids of any age, but we also don't want to shut down strip teases either. So it's kind of,
you're right.
It's
But we want good strip teases. We don't want gross. I think we can all agree.
That's true. That's true.